Joining me, as always, on Thursdays is Nationals frontbencher Barnaby Joyce, the former Deputy Prime Minister. Barnaby Joyce, the government says nothing to see here about Donald Trump Jr. having to wait weeks and weeks until yesterday, too late for a visa to come here, when his first speaking engagement was on Sunday. Do you buy this?
No, I don't. I don't know whether it was Evelyn Beatrice Hall or Voltaire. It said, I mightn't respect what you say, but I'll defend to my death your right to say it. But this is obviously not the view of other people, and I don't know, because I was listening to your intro, Andrew, and I was thinking that sounds remarkably like Minister Bowen. I don't know if he was part of that sort of interlude of what was said, but this is, we have to accept in a democratic process that we, without, especially from the position of government, you don't start making these sort of snide comments. If a person is entitled to come to Australia, if they are not in breach of some sort of very caustic law that says that, if you're obviously here promoting fascism or promoting sort of a Stalinist coup, then we should just allow the Australian people to make their choices without the commentary of people who politically don't agree with them. Now, I'm not saying whether I agree with Mr. Trump's son or not, but if he wants to come to Australia and have his say, let him say it.
Yeah, I know, absolutely correct. And asking for evidence, Donald Trump Jr. for evidence he wasn't a convicted criminal. I mean, seriously, something's going on there. I want to play you, Barnaby Joyce, something I showed last night, because the more I think about this, the more outrageous it seems. This is from the speech yesterday at the National Press Club by Indigenous Australians Minister Linda Burney. Disastrous speech, which she gave this reason to support Labor's plan for a voice to Parliament in our Constitution, kind of Aboriginal-only advisory Parliament. Listen to this.
Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are 55 times more likely to die from rheumatic heart disease than non-Indigenous people. These deaths are completely preventable.
Now, Barnaby Joyce, I said last night that the Minister already knows there's a problem and she knows it's preventable. Then why doesn't she do something about it right now? Why wait for a voice, dividing Australians by race before she does her job? But the more I think about it, it's worse, because if she says this problem is preventable, then she must actually know how it can be prevented. And that makes you ask even more closely, what on earth is stopping her if she has this knowledge in her head right now?
And Andrew, I've said on your show right from the start, I said this referendum's going to go down. And at the time, you were sceptical. You said, I hope so, Barnaby, but I don't think so. It is, Andrew.
I was
Australian people are going to knock this one out of the park. Knock this one out of the park. It's not going to get up. I know little about lots, but I know lots about politics, and this thing was dead from the moment they decided to staple all these extra pieces to it. I went to NAIDOC week the other week, because, you don't run away from a fight. I went to NAIDOC week, and I thought, I'm going to get pilloried here. And I was so humbled by the fact that I went to NAIDOC week and the Aboriginal people of my electorate were so kind and so encompassing. And I tell you what, we might have different views on things, but the one thing we did agree on was Mr. Albanese has done massive overreach on this, and he's created a massive division in my electorate, in my home, where we all got along. Everybody got along. And we don't want this. We don't want this. And you mightn't see it in North Sydney and you mightn't see it at Double Bay, but we live it. And this is a very bad thing that the Prime Minister has done. A very bad thing. He created massive division. And he's created people who live next door to one another for all our lives, because we live in these areas all our lives. And all of a sudden, he's divided one up against the other. It's a very, very wrong thing for the Prime Minister to have done. And if he's a statesman, he should now do the appropriate thing and find reverse on the column shift and say, okay, that's not going to work. Let's go back to a position that will work. And we are willing to deal with that. We are willing to deal with that. Come back to a position that
I don't think there's a compromise.
And take
Barnaby,
that to an election.
No compromise. No compromise. This is going down a racist track.
Well, hubris comes before nemesis, as you know.
But anyway, look,
I'm glad hubris is before nemesis.
Well, I'm glad your prediction is coming to pass. Barnaby Joyce, thanks for your time.